It's very cold. Let me into the tent now, please. Okay, that's the door.
Come on, get in. The warm stuff's getting out.
Okay, squeeze in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
He points his thumb at the lieutenant. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kim.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
Too old, huh?
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
That is true. He does not like kids.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Okay. I feel nice now that you're keeping watch. Even though you just want to avoid the kids. Oh, that was weird. I wasn't expecting that in the little area. Nice. A speaker. The big kind they use for live music. Canisters filled with what appears to be water. The label says distilled. And a pile of nasal sprays. Brand name Nosafed Ultra. Okay, so let's talk with... Is this the guy that was talking to us? It looks like it with his spiky hair.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Always be polite, even to delinquents.
His grip is strong, sweaty and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
Aww.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably anodic music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Ah, so why are you here then?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Right, okay.
Also for talent! Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Oh, that's a shame.
Place is a shithole! I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
Yeah, there's no much need doing that, dude. Even I could admit this place is pretty bad.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
Narcomania? What's he talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Right, you're saying people are... Okay. Dope heads in the church, huh? I feel like you're not quite telling me the truth.
Burnouts!
He angrily spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revershoal.
Ooh, that's a big brag there, dude.
Strike that! The world!
Okay, thinking big, I guess.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
What kind? What kind of the worst kind?
The spooky kind.
Spooky, huh? Well, we are already investigating a spooky business. Speaking of which, did I ever go back to that lady and tell her that the place was not spooky? I don't think so. Put it on the list.
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Right, you're just good Samaritans, huh?
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
Heat or clean? I thought you said eat or clean, and I was like, why would you eat a building?
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
Thank you, Egghead.
Yes, thank you, Egghead.
So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
I doubt this is what is actually happening, because the lady outside said that you guys were the ones who put the sticker on the door, and it doesn't seem like there's anybody there. But I wanted to break into the church anyway, so tell me more.
All right, man.
He claps his hands enthusiastically.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is. The boys exchanged giddy looks.
So, I wanted to ask you about this tent. I thought it said that tent. I'm like, aren't we in the tent? So, who exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
Okay. Better safe than sorry, I guess. Anything more you can tell me?
Yes, there's also the machinery.
He leans in for emphasis.
This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety.
Sure, of course it is.
When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
Oh no, not machines.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling.
Yeah, Andre, tell me about the feeling.
Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
Yeah, probably the people who put the machines in. Probably hiding from the delinquents.
No, the other one.
Oh, okay.
Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, have you actually seen anyone then?
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone, or something, eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
Right. So, how do you know that they're burnouts and dope heads?
Well, honestly, I can't. But I am.
Why not? Let's go with that.
I can't see a single thing wrong with that argument.
I'm 70% sure they're substance users. Don't let the technology fool you.
Right. So, can you tell me more about the machinery?
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely.
And this thing that was watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
Right, a crab man.
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
Thank you for explaining things further.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behaviour.
Right, ambush behaviour. Crab man.
Crab man!
Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. A cell was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
Okay, okay.
Sure. What?
Right. Yeah, well, we talked about Estelle just a minute ago. Estelle told me Noid put the padlock on the door.
Oh, so you met her. Good, good.
He's not as glad as he would like you to think. There's concern in his voice.
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Right, and do you have the key?
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
Alright.
The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden, cool, infused move, tossing it in your general direction. Oh, I would love to be the cool cop. I let it fall to the ground and pick it up like a normal adult person. That's not a normal thing to do. The normal thing to do is to try and catch it and then pick it up when you inevitably fail. You don't just stand there and just watch somebody throw something to you. You know what I mean? You just, you take a chance.
It's as if time
Yeah.
is frozen somehow. You think you can sense the key moving in the air. Yeah, this is going to be way...
Oh, I'm gonna do stupid shit, aren't I? Don't ruin the cool, but overdo it. Raise your hand in front of your face with minimal effort. That's cool, because even if it misses me, then that means that it won't hit me in the face and then fall to the floor.
Blam! Straight in the eye.
Ah.
Straight in the old eye orb.
Ah.
In the looking ball.
Uh-huh.
A stabbing pain. Tears stream
really?
uncontrollably from your right eye.
Okay, I should stop using these red checks, even if they do give me stuff. Because I keep failing them and then, you know, freaking out. Because goddamn asshole, what's wrong with you? Can't you see I'm in pain right now?
Man, I'm super sorry. That was totally my bad. I got overexcited. Threw him too hard.
And
Sorry.
I need to calm down in front of these teenagers, you know?
He looks like he's genuinely sorry. He didn't throw them better.
Oh my god, I'm such a fucking shit. I'm sorry. Bend your face in mockery of his useless contrition. You almost murdered me, a cop that's used of lethal force. Why am I freaking these guys out? They're not that bad.
I really am sorry, man. Just take this, okay?
He pulls out some black paper from his belt pack.
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
Oh. Money, huh? Thank you. Thank you.
I hope that settles it. Or wait. The key?
He cautiously hands you the yellow key ring. Did I say that I should stop using red checks? Because I feel like I shouldn't.
He is shifting in his spot, uncomfortably, still feeling sorry for the mishap.
But I feel so bad about being rude to them, though. Why can't I just have normal adult reactions?
We were talking about the padlock, I think.
Yeah, how long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
Right, okay. And how do you know that they've not, starved to death?
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
Okay. Yeah, 85% is not... Okay. I'd usually say this, but I've been snapping at them a lot, so, it's good enough. No one lives forever, baby.
Exactly. That's exactly what we thought.
The cage of the rage! Rough blaze!
Okay.
Egg means the situation is monitored.
The
It's
man...
relatively safe. No one has died yet.
Yeah, the man nods grimly. Okay, other questions?
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
You mentioned some kind of, people own the church. Who are they?
Oh yeah, that's a meteor and name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it.
Okay, the founding party? Yeah, what is the founding party?
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organisation.
And is that all you know?
And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericarnassian church. Plus, they anoint the innocents. They, made the innocentic system, no?
Right, sounds exactly like the kind of people who would want loud music in their church.
You're right, they do.
He says without the slightest hint of irony.
The Pericanassian church is about love. And Nordic music is about love. I got love for my Pericanassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance!
Okay. I feel like you should calm down, little man.
Love is hardcore!
Unity!
Unity!
Make some noise for my Insulindian posse!
He turns the volume up, then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance. Oh, dear God.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing the waters.
Okay, I guess love can be pretty hardcore. I did have a breakdown last night because of what I assumed to be love.
Oh yeah, it can!
He's coming around. You're getting it.
Nod my head as I enjoy the beat.
Feels good.
Yeah, you know, you're right. How could the fandom part to be anything but enthusiastic? Dance music is about love, and so is the church. Even though I feel like this is the actual true answer. Let's not beat down their spirits even further.
Yeah! Yakokata! The place to be!
He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism.
Yeah, we share it, totally.
Do it for the masses. Do it for the crew. I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions?
The one with the large head is still looking at you.
I'm not
nodding
dancing.
his head, waiting
I'm
for
not.
your body to start moving.
No.
Yeah! Let it out! Let the disco happen! Bring the disco into this world! Get this church shit on, and then dance there, motherfucker!
I mean, I'm not against that, but let's see who's actually in this church at the moment and see whether they need it more than these kids do. So let's ask our last question and then talk to some of the others. So what is this tent full of equipment then?
Yes. What?
Yeah, you've got your own water?
Yeah. Good to have, bitch to carry. When I first scouted the place, I did some reconnaissance. I'm not sure the church even is running water.
Right, and it's distilled too.
Oh,
He doesn't know what to say. I don't know if that's interesting or anything.
it's the one they sell at the fuel station.
Okay, and what's with all the Nosefed?
The what now?
The Nosefed Ultra. You have a lot of it lying around.
Oh, the old Ultra. I have a major sinus infection. Stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe.
Are you trying to bullshit me? Because you sound fine to me.
Yes, that's all Nosefed's doing. Without the Noser, I'd be drowning in shit right now.
Nosefed is the shit.
I'll let it out. I'll let it go for now. So let's go on to the next thing,
Yes. What?
which is nothing, because that's enough.
He nods enthusiastically, no doubt a little relieved.
Unexplained Nosefed, yeah. I'd love to, but I can't at the moment. 3%, that's not a good thing. So let's leave for now.
As always, we'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah.
That's not what you said. You said be careful in there, officer, and tell us how it goes. Yeah, we'll be here. Okay. Don't quite believe you guys. So we'll probably attempt that white check the next time we come to meet them. Are you wearing my hat now? Looks like you might be wearing a hat. Or is it just your hair?
The shaggy-haired
It's just
girl
your hair.
kneels on the sea ice. She looks up as you approach.
I'd be less bitter if she was wearing my hat.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church? I
Yeah.
mean.
I've got a few questions first.
Shoot.
The others told me you went inside the church. No, let's ask about the associates first.
My associates? I haven't got much to say about them.
What do you mean? You must know something about them.
Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them.
Oh, okay. What about yourself then?
Me? I'm a silver bird.
Okay, maybe I'll ask you about this later.
Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but...
Okay, the others told me you went inside the church. What did you see there?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
I don't know why you'd lie about it. You seem nice. If it was one of the others...
She's less prone to blurt it out, crab man, than the others.
Please tell me. We'll see. We'll see about that, please.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe.
Mainframe.
She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother. You know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
That's not especially frightening. I don't think she's finished the story, so go on, please.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent.
Oh, that's creepy.
He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same thing. That sounds creepy.
Like a crab, you say?
The lieutenant nods. His face is stone. So, what did he look like then?
It was too dark. I
Okay.
couldn't tell exactly.
Come on, she obviously could. She already went into detail.
Oh, come on. Yeah, you would have stared at him, you know? What did you would have looked at every detail of this guy, because you'd be like, oh my god, he's climbing on the walls. I can't look away. This is really bizarre. So, what did he look like?
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
How normal it looked?
A crab and a banger?
Okay, Kim, calm down, please.
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
And I believe you.
Why?
Yeah, what would you stand to gain, lying to me, lying to your friends?
Nothing. Anyway, what else?
That is it for now. I keep eyeing it, okay? And I also remember I was going to talk to his buddies. Let's actually talk to them this time. I was too busy with, how she refused to talk about her friends. Maybe she'll open up later, after you've helped them set up the nightclub. Oh, well then, getting to know her and her friends? Hell yeah, I'm going to start talking to them. Let's talk to the
A
egghead
young man
first.
with peroxide blonde hair holds up a Harman Walshy tape player, nodding along to the music.
He's
He
just
looks at you with a knowing smile and
He's just-
says,
a bit too much, you know?
as though you're supposed to be sharing some tremendous evangelical secrets.
Hardcore!
Is it?
It's hardcore!
I don't know what to say to that.
Skibbity, skibberdanger. I am the rearranger.
Could there have been a right way out of this garden of forking paths, you think?
What? There has to be some way to talk to this person. You just haven't found it yet. It's definitely not about signs. What if you just try again? Find your way out of this maze of things to say. Okay, let's try one more time
The
then.
young man with the tape recorder acknowledges you.
This is hardcore.
Say nothing this time.
Hardcore! Hardcore to the mega! Internally coherent.
I've been saying nothing, and then it's like, I was wondering if you knew who killed the mercenary hanging behind the Wellingham Bags hostel.
All core! Alright! Yeah!
I'm just saying nothing until the end of the conversation.
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime invisible movement of the music.
That's a
in
horrible
the
thing
very
to
raw
say.
air of the stuffy tent.
His very large head, that's rude.
Hardcore!
Yes, I finally got the opportunity. I was like, I'm gonna say nothing until I get hardcore. So hardcore!
Is it though?
I was just thinking that a moment ago.
One mind, one spirit. There's no other world. There's no other life.
He's so confusing. I kind of love him.
So you had a talk with Andre, and now you want to discuss things with Noid. Good.
Skin shows through the holes in the Speed Freak's too large sweater. In front of him, an open toolbox full of carpentry, tools and parts.
It's good you talked to Andre first. Gave me time to get a reading on your sign. Can't really talk to people before you get a reading.
My sign?
Yeah, gotta compare. See if we can align.
Okay, interesting.
I suck at socialising, man. Even now, our sign synchronisation is way off. But I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate that. So why are you called Noid then?
The hardcore aesthetic is esoteric. It's not meant to be discussed with the law at this moment.
Okay. He picks up some sort of widget.
It's not easy to reach a harmonic resonance of signs without some adjustment.
So we need sign matching then.
Yes, further sign matching would do good for us. One way to achieve this would be by getting us into the church.
One way, huh? Okay, so can you tell me about the machines you saw in the church?
Weird stuff. Specialised. There was a data processor and some sort of long-wave machinery.
Weird.
Wires going into water. Gives off a spy sign. Or some fucked up Samaran science sign. You know, the kind that goes head first into the supernatural.
The supernatural? So you think it's real that it actually exists?
Most of it doesn't exist. But there's also stuff that isn't allowed to exist. Because the moralists think it's too dangerous for the plebs.
Right, yeah. Of course.
Psionic powers, pale-related diseases, pretenders pretending to be human, folk rights, that kind of stuff.
Pretenders pretending. Alright, and what about the sticker on the padlock? Can you tell me about that? Is that your, like, sign thing?
A sticker? You mean the yellow one? Can you describe it to me?
Yes, it's a yellow circle of a human face with X's for eyes and a smile underneath. I think the X's mean the guy's dead.
Good, good. What did you want to know?
Was I right? Is the dead guy smiling?
Yes, you're the 23rd person to get it right. And I've asked 23 people. Looks like it's a dead guy smiling to the entire human race.
Okay, what does it mean?
He defeated history. We are living in the age of history, and in the eyes of history, we are always already dead. How can we ever smile then? Because history is a lie, and so are its deaths.
Right. That kind of made a little sense.
Present moment and life are the hardcore. The hardcore expels death. Or maybe he's not dead. Maybe he's just really ecstatic about the beats.
Maybe. But, yeah.
He blinks, waiting for the next question.
Yeah, I think we've exhausted the subject for now.
I guess one could write an entire treatise on the thing. But what for?
I guess, but I'm gonna come back later. Okay, sorry about that, Kim. I needed to talk to them once more. I need to sync the sound with Noid. I like those guys. They're alright. But, oh, come on, dude. Ugh, never mind, let's just go across the little bridge. Kim, please. Okay, which part of this area have I explored then? There's the church, obviously. What's up here? Did I look at these up here? This is the boardwalk, right? Yeah, yep. Okay. Oh, is that a bottle? Do I have my bag? I do. I can't use it. Yes, I looked up there. Are we gonna go up here to have a look, see what's up here? And then we will head to the church.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
Let's take a closer look to see if we know what it smells of.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth.
Might be, huh?
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
Why not?
It's a guano-encrusted jacket, and you're already carrying around enough as it is.
I guess that answers that question. I guess I'm not taking it with me then. Ugh, you're such a nag. No, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry, that was rude of me. Just wanted to see if there was anything over there. There wasn't. I guess I'm not taking that. That's a shame. What's in the barrel? I'll take that. What's that? Ooh, a postcard. And a makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. The tarp will keep out neither rain, nor snow, nor wind. Oh, that's a little sad. Let's take more money. A big wine canister. It's open and empty. Oh.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Hold on. What? That is awful. Cover your nose.
It doesn't help. You can still smell it.
What is it?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That
Oh,
faintly
shit.
cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that.
Like a dead body?
Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear.
Kim, what is that smell?
The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose.
Please tell me that I am mistaken and it's not a dead body.
Eyes up, detective. Something's not right here.
Oh, I think I can guess, maybe. Careful there, these floorboards look rotten and weak. I'm thinking maybe somebody's stolen the clothes, and so they smell like the dead body.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Okay, let's examine the kebab wrapper.
You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads, Shish Kebab Revachol.
Shish kebab revachol.
It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief.
Okay, so examine the cigarette wrap package.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra.
And the tear.
2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find.
Right, that's not much help.
No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
What?
A tragedy.
The lieutenant looks in the can, eyes watering from the smell.
He shakes his head with genuine sadness.
What's happened? I don't understand. Am I supposed to understand? Am I stupid? Oops, I might be stupid. Let me look at here and then I'll talk to that guy. The coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years. Stop messing with the coin viewer and hold on to something. The wind is so strong. Oh, there's a pink thing. It's a long way down to your death from here. 20 meters at least. Lovely. Hi.
A man lies on the
Oh,
boardwalk,
shit.
his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper.
I thought he was just a homeless man. Just look in here. Oh, God.
Half of his body has slipped between the cracked boardwalk, starting with the right leg. The fall has left him broken, contorted like a sad puppet.
So he fell and got stuck?
The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on.
The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. 2 bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life.
Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself.
I wasn't prepared for this, authority.
Calm now. Carefully. Just
Okay.
another day. Just another dead body.
Just another dead
Breathe.
body. Right, so let's work our way up to the body. Let's look at the surroundings.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here.
Okay. So let's examine the man's head.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
No, just this one at the back of his head.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
Yeah, it looks like he fell, the board broke, his leg fell, and he went slamming into the bench. Let's check the floorboards, I guess.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile.
Okay, so stop it, please. Stop touching them.
You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet.
Okay, back away.
He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him.
I guess that's one good thing. Okay, look at the bottle.
A .75-liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside.
Tear all around us.
He looked at the other bottles near the coin-operated viewer, then at your yellow plastic bag.
I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
Okay, I did actually think of that when I was like in the bin. I was like, why can't I pick these up? Did not realize this was a dead body. I was just like, look at the surroundings and then talk to the person. Just thought he was just sat there.
True. It feels disrespectful.
I will listen to you. Examine the chewing gum wrapper.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall.
Ugh, let's look inside.
The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too.
Ew.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
Not wanting to disappoint the family.
In a ditch off a road below the 881, he thinks. a young father. Then he shakes his head to make the memory stop.
Right. Step back.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Okay, study the man's clothes.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest.
And his pockets? What's in his pockets?
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card
Yeah,
after this is done.
might get a name. Study the man himself.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here.
Okay, let's look at his face.
His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze.
Okay, that's a weird way of explaining him.
170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build, age approximately 50 to 60 years. He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. Overcome with the awful surprise of it all.
Who is this man? Does the library card say?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
He looks south, the way you came.
But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
This is an omen, a sign from above that you need to stop drinking.
Ugh. Yeah, he looks just like me. I could have ended up like him, dead on some empty boardwalk with a bottle next to my corpse.
Well, at least you're not married.
The lieutenant pointed at the ring on the man's left hand, the flesh around it swollen and grey. Shit.
Or, what if you are?
No, I'm not.
But let's try to not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
Fair enough. And what do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Do you think he was drunk?
Oh, yes.
What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure? Why would he get that?
Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
Yeah, and what about the kebab? Did he come in to eat after he drank?
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the box.
Right.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
Okay, what should we do with him then?
From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
Well, would we need to do another field autopsy?
A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me.
Yeah, same here.
I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work.
Yeah, you're right. I don't see anything criminal here. Let's leave it at that.
Good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest.
Okay, but we did find him. We should finish this.
Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from Mike and Emma. Let them know we are taking the case.
Right, okay. Okay, so call the station about the dead body and examine the library card you found on the dead man. We should interact with that first. A library card found from the pocket of a dead man on the Martinez boardwalk. It's still slightly damp to the touch. The cover bears the stamp of Jamrock Public Library.
The library card is folded into two and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mijon, expires July 53.
Billy Mijon. Look inside.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too.
Okay, I'm getting a bad feeling. Look at the backside.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours 900 to 1800.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mijon.
Right, okay, let's put that away then. Okay. So, I know I said I wanted to go into the church. Moonshine probably smells like tasty fermentation. But it is, what was I saying? Yeah, I wanted to go to the church, but it is 5:15. So I feel like we should head back that way. The body is probably more important. Oh, they're cute. Mega Bingo's prescription lenses. And vagrants have recently painted the top red. Water drips from it. Can you get through that way? No, okay. Actually, let's go to the church and then head back. Oh, I missed something, sorry. Because it's been a week and they've been locked inside, this woman. Okay, we got some bottles at least then. That'll work. So we'll have a look inside there. And then head back about the body. And then talk to Kazje.
Wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Open the padlock with the key.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Hell yeah, we're free. No, they're free.
Let's go.
The lieutenant nods at you. Pull on the doors.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city.
Oh, we automatically go inside as well. That's creepy. Oh, nice picture though. A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. But fuck that. Actually, we can do that. More of the fork lightning patterns you saw outside. We can actually just walk around here, because you don't lose time when you're walking. It's when you're talking. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. Feels like trying to become one with the church. Okay. Hello? The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. And what is this? The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. So is it to keep it like
The
charged?
silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore.
Okay.
Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
Hello?
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
Stomp my feet and clap my hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
What's happening, Kim?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Not really, but it's pretty extraordinary. I've never experienced anything like this.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
No idea.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is.
Yeah, it's definitely real though. Something odd is happening around us.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
What if I don't want to know what's up there?
The silence, the darkness, they've enveloped you as in a cocoon. You cannot move anymore.
I have no choice. I need to do this red one. Try to see beyond the shadows. God. See nothing.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin.
What's the darkness like?
Filled with vague shapes of woodwork. The sense of a great height.
Try to make something out. Anything?
There's nothing. You're dizzy and disoriented as you see dark and more dark rising.
Officer, what are you looking at?
He follows your gaze, attempting to see what it is you're seeing. Blink. Holy fuck!
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
That's fucking creepy. Fucking creepy that is. Yeah, let's talk to him first then. Hello?
Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently. The Crab Man.
Hey, who's there?
The man leans forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
The right place for what?
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
Alright.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I want to know what he's doing here, Kim.
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too.
The ceiling
It's
climbing.
all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality.
The ceiling climbing is throwing me off a little bit, I have to admit. He still looks so creepy even though he started talking to us.
Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Yeah, I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I can smell the control all the way over here.
I'm doing just fine, thank you. I'm not doing fine. Yeah, okay, I'm struggling, but you don't need to lecture me. I know what I need to do.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc Albino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Yeah. Yeah, this is stupid. I don't even know what this is. Yeah, for some reason I feel like you have a point there.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
The Mother of Silence, huh?
This Mother of Silence sounds like a serious player. You might want to be careful until you find out what you're dealing with.
You must be the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
Hey, it's the neighbors who came up with this name, not me.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
Maybe. What were you before you became a crab man?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
Good for you, I guess. So many people losing their memories. A certain portent of doom. Yeah.
Nah, ese, it's not like that.
It is
Best
for
thing that
me.
could happen to you, losing your memory.
I'm not sure about that just yet, Tiago.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
Well, my name's Harry, I guess.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
Don't ignore my hand. So what are you doing here then?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration.
Okay, that answers none of my question.
I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Yeah, who's this mother you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, Essa. She is one who can be painted or sculpted.
Well, that's lucky.
She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
Right. Okay. And what will happen once you drink from this perforation then?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
Right, okay. You sure you didn't just switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Okay. Yeah, let's agree to disagree.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it. I know
won't.
it will take time. Don't sweat it.
That was weird. Stop saying that. So what are you doing in this church then?
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Okay, singing. Singing is good. We should all sing a bit more.
I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about.
Yeah, I guess that
It's
makes
the singing
sense.
of a burning heart. You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound.
Okay, and how did you even find this place, this church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was.
Well, that was lucky, I guess.
Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. It didn't belong to me.
Right, I had other questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
So some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub?
The ones in the tent outside? Right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab.
Yeah.
Probably scared of me.
You did startle them. Do they have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
I believe you, I believe you. So what do you think about the nightclub?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
Okay, we've got somebody on board.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
So do you know who the other spooker is?
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Okay, so thanks. I'll see if I can find her.
You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
He shrugs.
Or search through her radio computer.
Right. Yeah, you've been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
He responds, his voice suddenly flat.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Congratulations. Thanks. What a weird guy. Ooh, we're nearly there for those two. Wasteland of reality. Let's not pick a thought from a guy who's a bit out of it. What's this? Clothes? Ooh, a scarf. Thank you. What's in here? A figure drawn on the frost in the window, depicting a deer. Frost has drawn flowers on the glass, obscuring the view. What's this? A cracked pane of glass. Colourful. Well, at least it's colourful, huh? He's just so creepy, like his little thing. Oh, come on. The spider has spun its web around the wood-carved pillar. Yep. And... ooh, shoes. Excellent, excellent shoes. Not necessarily going to have a look. A portable Harman Wowski tape recorder. And 2 decks, reel-to-reel tape spinning on empty. Let me just get rid of the things over there. Yeah, got some good stuff now. Oh, I didn't even put another hat on. Oh yeah, because I got really upset about what hats I have left. Let's put the bum hat on. There we go. No, wait, didn't I get a Fane hat somewhere? There we go. I guess I'm just collecting all the Fallon stuff. What is my usual? Oh yeah, I've already changed my shoes, but they still look good. So, what's the glass then? Because that looks amazing.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day.
Dolores Day.
Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress.
Oh
You
yeah,
should kneel.
I see it. No, I'm not gonna leave. Kneel. No.
Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you. As if under a microscope.
Look up at her.
The woman looks down at you standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse?
I'd like to think it's compassion.
As that soft word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
I want the choice not to do the same, but I'll follow Kim's lead.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles, her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
So this is Dolores Day, huh?
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Delorean Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of this place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
What else do you know about it?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials.
So this is the only one that remains then, huh?
We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here.
No.
Something else, perhaps?
He looks at the machinery lying around.
There it is again. A small pang of guilt. It's time to ask him what happened here.
Do you know why it was abandoned?
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here.
Do you know who conducted it?
Well, your station was involved, I hear. Although I can't be sure.
You think I conducted this raid?
Well, your station
I didn't
was
mean to do
involved,
that.
I hear. Although I can't be sure. 3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them.
I guess I could have been here. Although with it being shot up, I only killed 3 people. Was this one of the places where I killed somebody?
I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters.
No, I'm not blaming you. If I was here, I should find out what I was doing.
Good luck. You will not get information on a confidential operation from your station secretary just by calling. If you really don't remember, it might be better to keep this one forgotten. It happened a while ago.
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. The innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived.
Okay, I interrupted Kim by saying it happened a while ago. It's unimportant to our business in Martinez now. And I think I asked Encyclopedia how I knew about Dolores Day, and then it said, oh, it's the most famous human being to have ever lived.
No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
What exactly is an innocence? I've heard of the system.
The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the called a spirit.
A ruler?
More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate inauthentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office.
I don't think one is in office now, but when was the last one in office?
No, we are alone.
Okay. When did she rule?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi. She is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world.
Okay, what else do I know about her?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Serene, modern-day Sir Laclay. Also, that she was gorgeous beyond beauty.
Okay, shut up, encyclopedia.
Draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form like this, dwarfed?
Feel like this is the best place to.
Yes! Big bummer! Boring history! Gotta keep it light, man! Keep it moving! Get fucked up instead!
Where is this coming from?
The past. It's a silo of sadness, fermenting. You should keep away.
Fuck this pain, Bratan! It's unhealthy!
Was she smart? I'm not going to listen to my tie.
Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state, a scalpel, a piercing gaze.
Bet some people didn't like that.
She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous.
How come?
It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on.
Okay.
She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history.
Wow.
Wow,
Sorry.
indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest.
What?
Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress.
Okay. I want more.
As did we all. The lands of the Mess and the Occident, and even far away Supramuindi, altogether 21 of the 40 mundial nations of the time, immediately accepted inauthentic rule, even before her crowning.
Her crowning?
In a city called Advesperaskit in Vespa Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky.
Yeah, well, it sounds better when it happens in the night.
She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
She must have been beautiful.
Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen.
And then what?
One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else.
What else?
Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the Innocents.
I mean, I realised that it wasn't going to be a happy ending to the story, but I wasn't quite expecting that.
Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes.
That's weird.
This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology.
So there was something terrifying about her then.
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her.
I guess I'm not towards Dolores then. Yeah. No, was there something bad about her? I want to know. I need to know all of this Inland Empire.
You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her Theriers. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the Innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs.
What happened?
The Mesk state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacific, mare interregnum.
What does that mean, the blondest woman I've ever seen?
Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes.
Was I actually here for 5 minutes? I need to check that, maybe.
What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
That she's somehow connected to the case.
She's been dead for 300 years. I am almost 1,000% certain she isn't connected to the case.
Yeah, you're probably right.
None of this is, in fact. This church, the coast, this isn't a good place to get lost in.
Maybe. Maybe. Let's see if we can reconstruct the cracked glass. Let's cheer it up.
The shards
Nope.
glimmer in the dark.
Nope.
You see little pearls of light on the edges of the crack that splits the female figure. Something was written there. Remains of broken letters line the emulsion. What it said, you do not know.
I do not know. Then let's turn away. Ooh, some zoom in. That was a lot. Hey guys, thanks for watching me play. If you liked what you saw, consider subscribing to my channel by pressing the button to the right. And if you fancy anything else, watching what I do, then click one of the videos to the left. Anyway, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.